Matt Whitaker with us right now, the former acting U.S. Attorney General. Matt, what do you think of what you've learned thus far?
Well, Neil, it's good to be with you. What I think right now is that this affidavit is next to impossible to glean anything out of what we want to know. Obviously, it confirms much of what we know. They got the original 15 boxes in January. The FBI went through them after the archivist called them and said, we have classified documents. They found many classified documents. All of the redactions on this are what we really want to know, which is who did they talk to? What did those people tell them? What else did they do? The affidavit is clearly in chronological order. You see how it outlines, Neil, the steps that the FBI went through in their investigation. But, you know, the redactions make it next to impossible to figure out. I will make one other note. You know, in my experience, having sat in the chair of the Attorney General and done that job, I just think there were so many steps that could have been taken short of executing a search warrant at Mar-a-Lago to continue to get the documents that the archivist felt were necessary and properly in their possession.
So the archivist knew that something was missing, right? And that seemed to be the trigger for this, right?
Well, obviously they had been talking to the Trump people, the former office, and that office turned over these 15 documents in January, and then in June they turned over more documents. But it is very obvious to me that in that time leading between January and June, and then June on, that the FBI investigation was in full swing. And they were gathering evidence in order to execute this search warrant. And I just think, you know, it seems to me that this was a foregone conclusion, a decision that was made weeks, if not a month, before the actual execution of the search warrant.
So if Donald Trump had a number of highly classified documents, including many top secret ones or labeled as such, his argument has been when he left office, he declassified them all. So is that it?
Well, and there is some discussion in this affidavit about those allegations that these documents had been declassified by the president, and even quotes a story in Breitbart quoting Kash Patel, the former chief of staff at the DOD and former deputy national intelligence director. And the response to that, and that's, I think, the most intriguing thing about this, is it's blacked out after they note the claim of declassification. They don't have the FBI's or the government's response as to why that's an invalid claim. And so that's something I'm watching very carefully to see how it develops.
Thank you, Matt, very much. Matt Whitaker.